sticking with special teams. I mean, you said on Monday that if the depth chart came out, Glasgow would be the starting kicker. Glad he was on Tuesday, and then he was today. What do you see from him? He comes out, hits a 49-yarder kind of into the breeze, and overall, like, I don't know, it just seems like it could be a weapon for you guys.
Yeah, I thought he had a big day. You know, he mishit 2 kickoffs, but the rest of them he was pretty smooth on. And the field goals were good. I haven't looked at all the times yet, but they let me know if they're real slow. So I think everything was on time. He's getting it elevated. Yeah, he was really good today. Looked to me like for the 3rd year in a row with a different punter, we got one that can hit the ball pretty decent there too.
Bobby, there was that other trick play where you guys had Junior Bergen throw the pass wide. Did you decide that was the right time to run it, and how did that play end up working?
Well, you know, like any play call, we'll you know, we always call every play we call, we think it's because it's the right time to run it. You know, we never call when we think it's the wrong time to run it. You don't like trick plays, or?
No, I like them.
Oh, okay, good. So you like that one, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I did too.
Coach, you kind of mentioned it with the clock issues in the first quarter. How were you able to navigate that? What kind of a challenge was it with the clock not working the first quarter?
You know, really, it was more a factor with the down and distance. You know, usually you can glance up there and catch it. You know, you got a lot of stuff going on, so. But the clock, once it got, it's probably more vital towards the end of the half. Like, if you saw, we got 2 possessions at the end of the half. They were going to get the kickoff coming out of the locker room. So, you know, using our timeouts to we got a touchdown, then we got the ball back, and we ended up getting a penalty and sent us back the wrong direction. But, you know, if the clock's not working, it's harder to manage that clock at the end of the half, so I'm glad we got it fixed.
And then Sam's performance, obviously the big throw, I think on the 3rd play of the game. What did you make of his performance today?
You know, I didn't watch him that much. I thought he did a good job. I'll watch it tomorrow. I'll talk about it Monday if you want. I thought he did a nice job. I don't even know what was he? 15 out of 25. Did a good job. You know, we gotta win the turnover battle. You know, that's not all in the quarterback all the time either.
You mentioned just the turnovers, you know, a couple of those penalties in the first half seemed kind of unorthodox for you guys to have a couple of penalties. You know, do you look at those turnovers and penalties as maybe immediate areas to kind of clean up going into next week?
Well, you know, some penalties I don't really care about, some I do. You know, I thought at times their most productive play was the penalty, offensively and defensively. So, you know, we don't want to be going backwards or giving them free yards, which at times we did, but, you know, sometimes stuff happens too.
The turnovers, like you mentioned, I mean, there was kind of the bobbled catch, you know, that fell in their arms and the fumble. Like, you see those as pretty easy fixes, you know, because I know turnovers are kind of a big thing for this program.
Well, for all programs, you know, if you don't win the turnover battle, you don't win much. So yeah, obviously we had to take care of the ball. He took some great licks and hung on to it. You know, I didn't want to jinx our running backs before the game, but we didn't have one fumble during training camp, and it was pretty physical. So I like where that is. Quarterbacks are going to throw some interceptions. That's if you're going to throw the ball some, the other team's going to catch a couple of them. You just don't want a bunch of them.
And Ryder, just coming out of the second half, Butler was able to find some success in offense. Did they change anything up, or why were they able to kind of get a couple points on the board there in that second half?
Yeah, I think we'll have to watch the film more to know exactly what happened. But the great thing about this defense is that we're resilient. We were able to bounce back and get a couple stops and get the ball back to our offense.
And to piggyback off that, yeah, you guys seemed to settle in kind of in that second half, and you know they had momentum, and you guys stopped it. Trevin had their interception. Just what was kind of clicked for you guys as you guys were able to halt that momentum for them in the second half?
Yeah, guys started making plays. Trevin made a couple very key plays on the ball. As you guys said, Nash had the big hit. I think that helped with some of the momentum for us in the second half, and then we just kind of feed off of that and kept going.
Speaking of that big hit, Coach, I know you were kind of standing right there when Nash made that play. How did you think that was able to fire up the defense and the entire team in the fourth quarter?
Well, I thought he fumbled it. We didn't get on it, so I was a little disappointed by that. I thought the ball was loose.
Eli, I know you scored last year, but you get that touchdown. That was kind of right after they scored. So how did that feel, especially going into the north end zone and kind of scoring and celebrating with the crazies up there?
It's a great feeling to play and score in front of the best fans in the nation.
And Eli as well. We talked a little bit about like having multiple people in the rushing attack like Clifton, but I guess talking about Xavier Harris, who also had a pretty nice game, and there was one specific play where on the Butler sideline kind of took a hit, kind of brushed it off. How is it having a guy like that who's had the experience kind of right next to you and not only helping you in the run game, but also just maybe being a little bit of a mentor for you, I guess?
Yeah, the whole running back room is full of great dudes, and I'm one of the youngest, so all the other guys teach me, everything I know and everything you see in the field. So they're great dudes, and it's nice to have them around.
One more.
Ryder, on this defense, you guys have a couple of new faces. Got a chance to play. I mean, you've been on the team for a while, but you had like your Hayden Harris's and Riley Wilson also stood out. Can you speak to, I guess, what's it been like working with Riley and just his impact there? Because he seemed to, from pretty much the get-go, be ready to play.
Yeah, we have a couple new guys come in, and they fit in immediately with the guys. They picked up the defense right away in the spring, and then through the summer and into fall camp, and they picked up how we play defense in terms of getting to the ball. We want to swarm the ball, get everyone around it, and then have fun. And also, they're great dudes as well. They're awesome to have in the locker room and outside of football. So it's been great having those guys on the team, and also what they bring to football and socially in the locker room and outside of it. So
Thanks, everyone.
All right, good to see everybody.